Yes. I was going to read. Nupur Mataji, start. Nand
Okay,
Maharaj.
Prabhuji. Yes. Chapter 45, Uddhava visits Vrindavan. Nanda Maharaj returned to Vrindavan without Krishna and Balaram. He was accompanied only by the cowherd boys and men. It was certainly a very pathetic scene for the gopis, Mother Yashoda, Srimati Radharani, and all the inhabitants and residents of Vrindavan. Many devotees have tried to make adjustments to Krishna's being away from Vrindavan because, according to expert opinion, Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, never goes even a step out of Vrindavan. He always remains there. The explanation of expert devotee is that Krishna was actually not absent from Vrindavan. He came back with Nanda Maharaj as promised. When he was going to Mathura on the chariot driven by Akrura and the gopis were practically blocking the way, Krishna assured them that he was coming back just after finishing his business in Mathura. He told them not to be overwhelmed, and in this way he pacified them. But when he did not come back with Nanda Maharaj, it appeared that he either cheated them or could not keep his promise. Expert devotees, however, have decided that Krishna was neither a cheater nor breaker of promises. Krishna, in his original identity, returned with Nanda Maharaj and stayed with the gopis and Mother Yashoda in his bhava expansion. Krishna and Balram remained in Mathura not in their original forms but in their expansions as Vasudev and Shankrashan. The real Krishna and Balram were in Vrindavan in their bhava manifestation, whereas in Mathura they appeared in the Prabhava and Vaibhava expansions. This is the expert opinion of advanced devotees of Krishna. But when Nanda Maharaj was preparing to return to Vrindavan, there was discussion among him, Krishna and Balram, as to how the boys could live in separation from Nanda. The conclusion to separate was reached by mutual agreement.
Okay, now till now, everybody is fine. Yes, who likes to say? First thing is that they came without Krishna and Balaram. This is what will be the theme of two chapters now. Because it was very pathetic scene, particularly for Mother Yashoda and the gopis headed by Radharani and the Gopas. And then scholars have been discussing how could Krishna leave Vrindavan. Krishna doesn't leave Vrindavan. He does not take one foot out of Vrindavan. Okay? And actually, he came back with Nanda Maharaj as promised. Krishna promised, I'll come back, but he was there in his bhava expansion. Okay? They cannot see him, but he's present. Just like holy name is non-different from Krishna. So similarly, meditation on Krishna is non-different from Krishna. The intense meditation on Krishna started when they came to know that Krishna is not coming back. That is Krishna itself. There is no difference. Because anyway, so they came back as Vasudeva and Sankarshana. Okay. So they were in Mathura as Vasudeva and Sankarshana. Yeah, Krishna stays in Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram always. This is a Prabhava. We discussed this Prabhava and Vaibhava. Anybody remembers what is the difference between Prabhava and Vaibhava? It's just two technical terms. Anybody knows what it means? Prabhava means similar. Vaibhava means slightly different. Balaram is Vaibhava. Krishna, Vasudeva is Prabhava. Okay? Any other expert opinions? Shisha, you remember Prabhava, Vaibhava in Chaitanya Charitamrita it comes. Prabhava means same, Vaibhava is slightly different. Balaram is called Vaibhava. Okay. Vasudeva and Devaki happen to be Krishna Balarams. Okay, now we have to reach. Yeah, anybody else? Nupur, you like to add something? Preeti, Yuresh, anybody like to add something?
No, Prabhuji, we can go ahead.
Preeti, unmuted. Anything you like to
I don't know, Prabhu. I'll have to refresh my memory. I remember reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but can't. When there are internal and external reasons for appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one of the explanation was uh, Prabhava and Vaibhava expansion.
Yeah, so many times it is explained, different expansions of the Lord. Prabhava, Vaibhava. Okay, we continue now. Vasudeva and Devaki. Yes, Nupur Mataji.
Vasudeva and Devaki happened to be Krishna and Balaram's real parents. They wanted to keep them now because of the death of Kamsa. While Kamsa was alive, they were kept under the protection of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan. Now, naturally, the father and mother of Krishna and Balram wanted them to remain with them, specifically for the reformatory function of purification, the sacred thread ceremony. They also wanted to give them a proper education, for this is the duty of the father. Another consideration was that all the friends of Kamsa outside Mathura were planning to attack Mathura. For
That reason also. Lord, I have a signal is not reaching
that reason
America.
also, no, for that reason also, Krishna's presence was required. Krishna did not want Vrindavana to be disturbed by enemies like Dantavakra and Jarasandh. If Krishna were to go to Vrindavan, these enemies would not only attack Mathura but would go on to Vrindavan, and the peaceful inhabitants of Vrindavan would be disturbed. Krishna therefore decided to remain in Mathura, and Nanda Maharaj went back to Vrindavan. Although the inhabitants of Vrindavan were feeling separation from Krishna, Krishna was always present with them by his Leela or pastimes, and this made them ecstatic.
Okay,
Since
so
Krishna,
separation is as such looks like painful, but in that meditation on Krishna, when it becomes intense, that is the highest spiritual pleasure. Just like when you chant very nicely, we feel so much spiritual pleasure. Correct? So separation of Krishna, we can't even imagine that's a scent. What you get is a scent. These devotees are feeling the real volcanoes of pleasure of meditation on Krishna. Actually, Krishna doesn't nothing lamentable in God's kingdom. Every activity of Krishna is very, very auspicious, and these are all external reasons. Actually, I think internal reason is Krishna wanted them to enjoy the meditation and separation. These are the people. Kamsa was a very well entrenched person. He had treaties. He had married two daughters of Jarasandha, and in the beginning of Krishna book we read how he made all the arrangements and friendship relations so that he can become the most powerful person, and then he started torturing the Yadavas. So Kamsa was removed, but other jokers are still around, like Jarasandha, whose two daughters are married to Kamsa. They went back home crying, and Jarasandha kept attacking. So they were worried all the attacks will come. So Mathura was better place for Krishna to stay and not to disturb a peaceful village like Vrindavan. This is, I think, an external reason. Yes, we continue. Shisha, any comments? Yes, Nupur Mataji, continue.
okay. Since Krishna had departed from Vrindavan to Mathura, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, especially Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Srimati Radharani, the gopis, and the cowherd boys were simply thinking of Krishna at every step. They were thinking, Krishna was playing in this way. Krishna was blowing his flute. Krishna was joking with us. And Krishna was embracing us. This is called Leela Smaran. And it is the process of association of Krishna.
It's the process of association of Krishna.
Most recommended by great devotees. Even Lord Chaitanya enjoyed Leela Smaran association with Krishna when he was at Puri. Those who are in the most exalted position of devotional service and ecstasy can live with Krishna, always remembering his pastimes. Sri Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur has given us a transcendental literature entitled Krishna Namarta, Bhavna Amrit, which is full of Krishna's pastimes. Devotees can remain absorbed in Krishna's thought by reading such books. Any book of Krishna Leela, even this book, Krishna and our teachings of Lord Chaitanya, is actually solace for devotees who are feeling the separation of Krishna.
Okay, who are feeling separation from.
That Krishna and
So, okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Then go. No, it was muted. It was muted. It was muted.
Today we were having today Pallavi with us with two children in our hand, and then we had Rekha with one hand in the afternoon session. Yes. Okay, so now Prabhupada is saying something very sweet. This is Krishna departed, the inhabitant of Vrindavan, The simply thinking of Krishna. They were thinking Krishna is playing like this, Krishna is blowing his flute, Krishna is joking. I didn't want to mark this because no, everything has to be marked. This is called Leela Smaran. Okay? This is the most advanced. Now, what we have been given in Nama Smaran. Now we should take shelter of the holy name and we should hear the Leelas written by pure devotees like Prabhupada has given, Prabhupada said, Krishna book and all. That is where we have to take shelter now. And later, Nam Smaran, Rup Smaran, Guna Smaran, it comes to Leela Smaran, where the pastimes of the Lord, Prabhupada said, just like a television, they switch on in the heart. That's called Leela Smaran. Constantly, the pastimes of Krishna are actually not today. If you do Leela Smaran, it will be just a sentiment. But actually, the real pastimes are manifest in the heart. The Gopa Gopis, they actually saw Krishna, correct? The remembrance of Krishna is exactly what they have seen. And even if you're advanced, very advanced devotee, you also get Leela Smaran. But that's the highest perfection of devotional life. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya enjoyed Leela Smaran, association with Krishna when he was at Puri. Who were the people Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu associated, was talking about Leela Smaran of Krishna with the gopis? Yes, Shisha?
Ramanandra
Ramananda and Sarup Damodar, correct?
and Shikameti.
Shikamaiti, yes, two and a half. The most exalted position of the devotion service, ecstasy. And he's a great Acharya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He has written a book called Krishna Bhavanamrita, the full of pastimes of Krishna with his devotees. And Prabhupada says by reading such literature, you can totally absorb. And for us, he has given this book, Krishna and Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which are, Prabhupada said these books, if you read, you will give solace to devotees of feeling separation from Krishna. It is where are we? We are absorbed in sense gratification. Where is solace to devotees? Maybe Prabhupada, when he used to read Krishna book, he used to feel like that. Atmat Manate Jagat. The way you're feeling, you think whole world is like that. Sometimes we are hungry, we ask the whole world, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Actually, we are hungry. Others are fine. Same way.
Even chanting,
Huh?
chanting also when we are meditating on the name itself, Nama, we have, our mind goes there
Yes.
and there. Then what to talk about this, the Leela Smaran?
Yes, yes.
Nama Smaran itself is difficult for us,
Yeah.
especially.
Okay. Chalo, we continue. Somebody is one, two, three, four. Still, people are there. They have to enter. Okay. Feeling separation from Krishna is actually solace for devotees of feeling separation from Krishna. Chalo, we can bow down to such devotees who feel separation and they read Krishna book to get little solace. If I find some devotee and touch his feet.
And they will get after
Many
the
million
jump.
lifetimes. Prabhupada is expecting us to be there. Our heart is burning for sense gratification. When we read Krishna book, little that it becomes little cool. For us, that is what it does. Isn't it, Nupur Mataji?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Our mind is distracted, disturbed. When we read, we get little peace. Not that the heart is glowing for Krishna and we get little solace by... Yes, Yuresh, you're on this
Yes, Prabhuji.
platform.
Yeah.
You feel like this platform. You feel pangs of separation and you read Krishna book, you get little solace.
Well, sometimes I do, but not to that great extent. But yeah, I'm still a beginner.
Yes, great, great, very nice. Murthy Mataji, how do you feel? You feel some great separation and you read, you get some solace.
Yes, surely it is. I get a lot of peacefulness, whenever I read this book, Krishna books especially.
We have wonderful devotees with us. Yeah, very nice. Chalo. Chalo, Manupur Mataji, continue.
Okay. That Krishna and Balram did not come to Vrindavan can be adjusted as follows. They did not break their promise to return to Vrindavan, nor were they absent, but their presence was necessary in Mathura. In the meantime, Uddhava, a cousin brother of Krishna, came to see Krishna from Dwarka. He was the son of Vasudev's brother and was almost the same age as Krishna. His bodily features resembled Krishna's almost exactly. After returning from his teacher's home, Krishna was pleased to see Uddhava, who happened to be his dearmost friend. He wanted to send him to Vrindavan with a message to the residents to pacify their deep feeling of separation. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante. Krishna is very responsive. He responds in proportion to the devotee's advancement and devotional service. The gopis were thinking of Krishna in separation 24 hours a day. Krishna was also think Krishna was also always thinking of the gopis, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, and the residents of Vrindavan. Although he appeared to be away from them, he could understand how they were transcendently aggrieved, and so he immediately wanted to send Uddhava to give them a message of solace.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
I know when you press, it takes so much time to come in, correct?
Yeah, the signals are poor this side.
I know. I was there. I've seen. I was trying to create a video conference when I was in that place. And,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Preeti, if you know Mataji, she comes from a Vaishnava background. At their home, already Gaunita were worshipped. And she is in Kerala, very nearby to us. And now she's got connected to us. Yes, Mataji, we are reading. Yeah. Preeti, please just summarize to her what happened till now.
We are reading the chapter of, what is the name of the chapter? Uddhava visits
Vrindavan, yeah.
Vrindavan. So far, Prabhupada has said that. Shisha Prabhu, what did I do a mistake? So far, Prabhupada has told us that Krishna and Balram went to stay in Mathura, and they didn't come back to Vrindavan, but they told that they promised the devotees in Mathura, in Vrindavan, that they're going to come back. But they did not physically come back. So Prabhupada is saying that Krishna and Balram were not lying, they were true. They came back in their bhava expansion. They were always in their Leela Smaranam, like in their pastimes, because everybody was thinking Krishna was here doing like this, Krishna was here blowing his flute, Krishna was playing. So everybody was thinking about Krishna. And then Prabhupada explained that because there were so many demons following and enemies following Krishna and Balram out of protection for Vrindavan devotees also did not go to Vrindavan. It was appropriate that they stay in Mathura. And also Vasudev and Devaki have been separated from Krishna for so long. So Kansa is now killed. So Krishna and Balram also wanted to give some of the happiness of their association to their birth parents.
Mm-hmm.
So far, this much favorite. And now Uddhava has come to visit Krishna, and Krishna is very happy because Krishna is also thinking of devotees in Vrindavan. Even though I think he's present in his bhava, in his Leela Smaranam, but he still wants to give them more peace. So he's very happy that Uddhava has come, and he wants to send Uddhava to Vrindavan with some message.
Okay.
Yeah. Preeti, this one.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Prabhu, okay.
Krishna responds in proportion to the devotee's advancement. Okay. Now, anybody come with message to you, Preeti, from Krishna? How are you, Preeti?
I appreciate you calling, Prabhu. Where are you?
No.
I left the body. Why are you not joining?
No, let's try to understand. The point is that we are in a
So I
very.
want to ask you one thing.
Okay, somebody came to you, Murthy Mataji, with Krishna's message. Yuresh, somebody came to you?
Yes, Prabhuji, that's why I'm here.
No, that's okay. That is nice. The devotee appreciate each other's presence, but that becomes flattery. Personally,
seriously, Prabhuji, when I met first time one of the devotees from ISKCON, then I felt like Krishna actually invited me to join the movement.
Yes, yes, that is definitely. And Yayatama Prapadanta, just meditate on that. This was very personal, very personal. Definitely, you see, to the degree we surrender to that degree, Krishna reciprocates. And here, personally, Krishna wrote a message for the gopis with his own hand. And as we will read, it is unimaginable. Krishna's hand started shaking. He could not write properly. The gopis, when they're trying to read, they couldn't read it because his hand was shaking when he was writing. Imagine the Lord, who, like Veda Vyasa has written like pearls, so many wonderful, verses. His hand was shaking. Imagine the love. So, true, we are trying to become devotee. I don't think I'm a devotee now, but the gopis' love we cannot compare. It's very intense. They've just given their everything to Krishna. So he very responsible. Krishna is thinking, but to some extent, definitely, Krishna is not. Prabhupada said Krishna is not. Looks like Krishna is neglecting. He's not neglecting. He's very alert. So as we are trying to make sincere attempt in advancement, definitely Krishna keeps sending people to help us and guide us. He is there in the heart as Chaitaguru, and externally he sends devotees to encourage us. Definitely. So Yurosh, you're right point on that. But I just wanted to say this is very personal. The mercy that, like Prahlad Maharaj, Lord puts his hand on his head. So Prabhupada says that Krishna is not partial. He can also give you this mercy. He will also come, become visible, and put his hand on your head, and that will be the greatest blessing. But the point is, we are not mature now. We are kuyogi, apakwa, kashaya nam. Yesterday night we were discussing. I think Nupur was there.
Sadhakas.
Sadhakas. Oh, you were also there, no, Yuresh, yesterday night, Bhagavata?
No, Prabhuji.
Oh,
But I went through your marathon class today in YouTube.
oh my God, that was a 3-hour class.
It's more than 3 hours actually.
We just kept reading. Chalo. Transcendently agree.
Just one thing I want to ask you. See, it's written here that Uddhava happened to be his dearmost friend.
Yeah.
Krishna's friend.
Yeah.
But in Arjuna is also his dearmost friend, isn't it? In the mentioned.
Yeah.
Even Arjuna.
Yes.
So both of them were his dearest friends.
Yeah. Now, okay, the more analysis of this, I have to become more advanced devotee. There is a lot of analysis of this different friends of Krishna. Some are very friend, some different rasas of friendship. Is there a nectar of devotion? Maybe we will start one session on nectar. That's why I'm going to read now. I somehow read only with devotees. And when I have to teach, I read before. See, I read the whole this chapter and I marked. So that is, I think, only way I read now. I become addicted to hangouts. Hangout addict now. Transcendently aggrieved. You see that they are aggrieved, but they are not aggrieved like a mundane people speak, right? They are transcendently aggrieved. So we should also hanker to be one day transcendently aggrieved. And heart is in pain in separation from Krishna, but that pain is not real pain. It's transcendental pleasure at the same time. Okay, Preeti, you like to say something or we proceed from here? Because you have one more chapter.
We can go ahead. But this shloka, this verse, ye yathamam prapadyante, it has been used a lot in explaining Vaishnava relationships. Because sometimes in Vaishnava relationships, there is a clause that it comes to mind when we see a Vaishnava, we should think that we are his servant, right? But I'm just sharing what I have heard, that that person is a better devotee than I am. So it gives rise to a feeling of fear and concern for oneself rather than a respect to the other devotee who is more advanced. So this shloka Yayathamam Prabadyante is actually taken as a line that gives Krishna gives solace to me, that okay, whatever degree I have surrendered, Krishna has reciprocated. That person has surrendered more, Krishna has reciprocated more, rather than blaming the other person or finding fault in
And
oneself.
always when we see a devotee, we should see the main element is how much he is dear to Krishna. That's the definition of a devotee. When you see Prabhupada, how much he is dear to Krishna. Look in that way, you'll have positive feelings. Correct? How much is so much dear to Krishna. Not to look at the other ornaments around. correct? How much is so dear to Krishna? Just like we're discussing Shisha in the morning, Madhvacharya, so dear to Krishna. We see Narad Muni, so dear to Krishna. And that makes us very attached, because principally we want to serve Krishna. He's so dear to Krishna. In that way, we see his wonderful qualities. That looks very nice. Okay, in connection to Krishna. Don't see anything disconnected from Krishna. That's problem starts. Moment you disconnect anything from Krishna, that's the play of Maya. Maya will start playing drama then. See the connection. Whatever degree, which angle he is connected to Krishna, then Maya will not touch you. Then you feel very sweet. Okay, we continue, Preeti, on the subject here now. Uddhava, yes, Nupur Mataji, continue.
Uddhava is described as the most exalted personality in the Vrishni dynasty, almost equal to Krishna. He was a great friend, and on account of being the direct student of Brihaspati, the teacher and priest of the heavenly planets, he was very intelligent and sharp in decision. From the intellectual standpoint, he was highly qualified. Krishna, being a very loving friend of Uddhava, wanted to send him to Vrindavan just to study the highly elevated, ecstatic devotional service practiced there. Even if one is highly elevated in the material education and is even the disciple of Brihaspati, he still has to learn from the gopis and the residents of Vrindavan how to love Krishna to the highest degree. Sending Uddhava to Vrindavan with a message to the residents of Vrindavan to pacify them was Krishna's special favor to Uddhava.
Okay, so this was Krishna does many things together. Not only he wanted to give solace to the residents of Vrindavan, he also wanted Uddhava to see the intense love that the residents of Vrindavan has. We can't even imagine now. We were just discussing this, this beyond us. We will not be able to, at this time, even conceive what it is. What is Krishna consciousness? We don't know actually now. But when you see the residents of Vrindavan, we will see this, my God. That's the most confidential circle of Krishna. Most confidential circle. And we can just, when we are reading all this, we are getting blessed. There is so much Shruti Phala and so much mercy we are getting when we are reading all this. At the same time, to enter into this Leela, we have to be pure. Yes, any comments? It's very intelligent, very sharp in decision, very friend. So many qualifications I will said of Uddhava. Yes. Continue, Nupur Mataji.
Prabhu, one thing I would like to bring to the attention, Prabhupada says, even if one is highly elevated in material education and is even the disciple of Brihaspati, he still has to learn from the gopis and residents of Vrindavan how to love Krishna to the highest degree. So today morning I was hearing Prabhupada's lecture in Mauritius in 7th Canto Bhagavatam, and one of the person asked Prabhupada that how do you say that there are living entities? There are living entities on the moon. Prabhupada said, first of all, you tell me how you say there are not. Then he said, because these fellows have gone there and found out that there is none. So Prabhupada said, so your source of education or your source of information is these fellows. My source of information is the scripture. So these fellows will change something tomorrow. And then, but you're such an elderly man and you're taking education and information from these fellows. Why you're not taking it from Krishna? That was very funny. These fellows.
Yeah. I think what was unique was the Prabhupada faith in the scripture, just like Prahlad Maharaj faith in the scripture with Narasimha Deva was shown in a very testing situation, correct? Perhaps Prabhupada was the only person on Earth planet at that time who said that on moon life is there. And the only person, I think, in that time. What do you say, Shisha?
Yeah.
Even now, I think he's the only person who says that. And Prabhupada, many times when Prabhupada, they spoke so many things, Prabhupada said, see, I can be wrong, but Shastra cannot be wrong. That is how, that kind of Acharya we need. Firm faith in the scripture. Prabhupada said, scriptures, every word. So Guru, Sadhu, Shastra always give us faith in each other. The Guru talks about the great saints. Prabhupada say, we are so happy now the great saint Narada has appeared in Bhagavatam. He will give such a glorious saint he is. They will always give faith on each other. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra always run parallelly and they enhance faith in each other. Okay.
Prabhuji, one more thing.
Yeah.
Uddhava, he resembled Krishna so very much.
Hmm.
Almost like his features were almost like Krishna.
Yes.
Uddhava was having achieved the liberation of Sarupya. He got the liberation of Sarupya.
Oh,
so
that's fine. Is he the person who said when he coming down, Krishna told him to come down for the pastime? He said, "No, I'll not take material body," and he came in the same body. I think one of the associates was like that.
Sarupya liberation got, so he resembled Krishna.
Okay. 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 Chalo, continue. Somebody like to read now? We'll give somebody chance. KRishna, you'd like to read?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Lord Krishna's name is Hari, which means one who takes away all the distress from the surrendered souls. Lord Chaitanya states that there cannot be at any time a worship as exalted as that realized by the gopis. Being very anxious about the gopis' grief, Krishna talked with Uddhava and politely requested him to go to Vrindavana.
Okay. So Hari means who takes away the distress. Hari means who takes away. But what is the takeaway? Krishna never takes away anything bad. He takes away your distress, your shortcomings, your weaknesses, your dirt in the heart. But we don't want to give it away. So Lord Chaitanya said they cannot in time worship acts as exalted as realized by the gopis. Anybody knows? Shisha, what is the shloka? Ramya, Kachit, Shisha? Hare Krishna, Shisha.
Yes.
What is the shloka? Ramya, Kachit, Pasana. Oh, he's busy with something. Anybody knows the shloka? You are muted, Preeti.
I'm saying Shisha Prabhu is saying, but we can't hear him.
Oh, Shisha, you're not able to hear you.
Can't hear you. You're saying.
What is the shloka? Okay, he's some mail he's busy with. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I cannot hear us.
And now we can hear you, Shisha. We can hear you.
I can hear.
Yeah. What is the shloka? Ramya Kachit. Ramya Kachit Upasana.
आराध्य भगवान विजय चतुर्थ तद्दाम वृंदावन अन्ना काच उपासना वर्गेण कल्पितास्य.
Yes, that's a beautiful shloka of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Ramya
Prabhu, can you email me that? Can you email me that, please, Shisha Prabhu?
Okay. Okay, you send him, you both keep in touch. Okay, continue. We will go to the next page. Yeah. So what did Krishna do? Vrindavana.
Shaking.
Yeah, shaking.
Shaking Uddhava's hand with his own hands, he said, "My dear gentle friend Uddhava, please go immediately to Vrindavana and try to pacify my father and mother, Nanda Maharaja and Yashoda Devi and the gopis. They are very much grief-stricken, as if suffering from great ailments. Go and give them a message. I hope the ailments will be partially relieved. The gopis are always absorbed in thoughts of me. They have dedicated body, desire, life, and soul to me. I am anxious not only for the gopis, but for anyone who sacrifices society, friendship, love, and personal comforts for me. It is my duty to protect such exalted devotees. The gopis are the most dear. They are always thinking of me in such a way that they remain overwhelmed and almost dead in anxiety due to separation from me. They are keeping alive simply by thinking that I am returning to them very soon."
Okay, Shisha, we can hear you. Just wait. Shisha, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Now you can hear
cannot
us?
hear.
Are you not able to hear anybody?
No problem.
You're not?
I can hear you.
No, we are able to hear you clear.
I can hear you, but not the reading now. Now it
is. Okay, no, because I am a little loud. Okay, everybody speak little loudly when you speak. Okay, no problem. So, as if suffering from great ailment, the condition is very miserable, as if suffering a great ailment. Krishna is very conscious, and they hope the ailment should be partially relieved. Okay. Generally, what happens, though, we are protected by the laws of karma, that's all. But when you surrender to Krishna, then personal protection comes. We get special mercy of Krishna when we, like maintenance, so Krishna gives to even animals and some kind of protection. But when you surrender to Krishna, then personal protection from Krishna comes. Okay? And that's why Krishna is not involved in that. Otherwise, laws of karma take care. Krishna is not involved. So they have dedicated the body, desire, life. Anyone, he's saying, who sacrifices for me with love, I cannot forget them. I'm always anxious for them. Okay, and he says almost died in anxiety due to separation from me. They're thinking of me so much. Krishna is aware of that. They're keeping alive, thinking I'm going to return. So you can think of the mood of residents of Vrindavan, certified by Krishna himself. Yes. Anybody wanted to add something? Nupur, Shisha, Hare Krishna. Okay. Chalo, continue, Yuresh.
No,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Okay.
Requested by Lord
Yeah, continue, continue.
Requested by Lord Krishna, Uddhava immediately left on his chariot and carried the message to Gokula. He approached Vrindavana at sunset when the cows were returning home from the pasturing ground. Uddhava and his chariot were covered by the dust raised by the hoofs of the cows. He saw bulls running after cows for mating. Other cows with overladen milk bags were running after the calves to fill them with milk. Uddhava saw that the entire land of Vrindavana was filled with white cows and their calves. Cows were running here and there all over Gokula, and he could hear the sound of milking. Every residential house in Vrindavana was decorated for the worship of the sun god and the fire god, and for the reception of guests, cows, brahmanas, and demigods. Every home was illuminated with light and incense arranged for sanctification. All over Vrindavana there were nice flower garlands, flying birds, and the humming sound of the bees. The lakes were filled with lotus flowers and with ducks and swans.
Okay, very nice.
Uddhava
No,
and
very nice.
yeah,
No mobiles, no laptops, no cars. You see, they are so happy, so peaceful. Simply, we go and disturb people in villages. Actually, very happy with all this. When you go to disturb them, you need to have a fridge. You need to have. My mother was joking. We come from mountains. It is so cold that there's snowfall there. And mother was saying when she went, she saw people buying fridges there. It's snowing outside. What do you do with the fridge inside? They got cheated, by all these things. And okay, so this is actually the life, simple life, Vedic lifestyle. So the cows are there everywhere. Okay, and they worship of the sun god, fire god. Home is illuminated, incense is there. The nice flower garlands, birds, humming sound of the bees, lakes are filled with lotus. So beautiful. Isn't it people go to the outside the cities for all this to see how beautiful it is?
yes,
Nowadays, if you can afford, people have farmhouse where they want things like this. People who are living like that. Why escape and go? It's available.
eco villages.
Yeah. You want to say, Shisha, anything? Chalo. Continue then. Yuresh.
Uddhava entered the house of Nanda Maharaja and was received as a representative of Vasudeva. Nanda Maharaja offered him a place and sat down with him to ask about messages from Krishna, Balarama, and other family members in Mathura. He could understand that Uddhava was a very confidential friend of Krishna and therefore must have come with good messages. My dear Uddhava, how is my friend Vasudeva enjoying his life? He is now released from the prison of Kamsa and he is now with his friends and his children, Krishna and Balarama. So he must be very happy. Tell me about him and his welfare. We are also very happy that Kamsa, the most sinful demon, is now killed. He was always envious of the family of the Yadus, his friends and relatives. Now, because of his sinful activities, he is dead and gone, along with all his brothers. Please let us know now whether Krishna is remembering his father and mother and his friends and companions in Vrindavana. Does he like to remember his cows, his gopis, his Govardhana hill, his pasturing ground in Vrindavana, or has he
Oh,
forgotten all these now? Is there any possibility of his coming back to his friends and relatives so that we can again see his beautiful face with its raised nose and lotus like eyes? We remember how he saved us from the forest fire, how he saved us from the great snake Kaliya in the Yamuna, how he saved us from so many other demons, and we simply think how much we are obliged to him for giving us protection in so many dangerous situations. My dear Uddhava, when we think of Krishna's beautiful face and eyes and his different activities here in Vrindavana, we become so overwhelmed that all our activities cease. We simply think of Krishna, how he used to smile and how he looked upon us. When we go to the banks of the Yamuna and other lakes of Vrindavana or near Govardhana Hill or the pasturing field, we see that the impressions of Krishna's footprints are still on the surface of the earth. We remember him playing in those places because he was constantly visiting them. When his appearance within
Viren.
our minds becomes manifest, we immediately become absorbed in thought of him.
So sweet.
We
We feel
think,
like just 1 minute.
yeah,
Should not want to disturb this. Just see that everybody has no any questions on this. We can continue. It's so sweet to just keep hearing. Okay. And he's seeing, is there a possibility he will come back? He sees his feeling of separation. Is meditating on the beauty of Krishna's face, his eyes. Okay, how he used to smile. Okay, and Krishna's footprint. Ashisha, did you see Krishna's footprint when he went to Vrindavan?
Yeah,
You're
Prabhu.
saying it's still there, huh?
Yeah,
Where do we get to see in Vrindavan Krishna's lotus feet? Huh?
Barsana.
Parsana, we see
In
that.
that Barsana, that when we go from Barsana and that Parikram path, we can see that. Prabhu.
Okay, next year we will go with Krishna and the Shisha as a panda and
Yeah,
see all that. he remembers a lot. I hardly remember. Okay, very good. Then where else we see? Where in Barsana it comes? Where he Barsana means Radha Krishna Leela, no? Radharani's. How can
yeah,
Krishna lotus
Barsana
fit
that
in?
is that Prabhu. That is
Where?
it is worshipped there. Yeah,
Okay, Krishna's lotus foot impression is there. But when you
yeah.
walk on
Manga.
Vrindavan, can you see Krishna's lotus feet impression? Nanda Maharaj is seeing
No,
there are so many.
it's on the side.
That is
Yeah,
5,000 years, so many idiots have walked over it. No, we can't. Huh?
yeah. Prabhu. It's on the stone actually in the that Mangat area. That it was that print is there.
Okay, ठीक है. Okay, okay. Krishna. Yeah, continue.
we think therefore that Krishna and Balrama may be chief demigods in heaven who have appeared before us like ordinary boys in order to execute particular duties on earth. This was also foretold by Gargamuni when making Krishna's horoscope. If Krishna were not a great personality, how could he have killed Kamsa, who possessed the strength of 10,000 elephants? Besides Kamsa, there were very strong wrestlers as well as the giant elephant Kuvalaya Pida. All these animals and demons were killed by him, just as a lion kills an ordinary animal. How wonderful it is that Krishna took in one hand the big heavy bow made of three joined palm trees and broke it very quickly. How wonderful it is that continually for 7 days he held up Govardhana hill in one hand. How wonderful it is that he has killed all the demons like Pralama Basura, Dhenukasura, Aristasura, Trinavrata, and Bakasura. They were so strong that even the demigods in the heavenly planets were afraid of them, but Krishna killed them as easily as anything. While describing the uncommon activities of Krishna before Uddhava, Nanda Maharaja gradually became overwhelmed and could not speak anymore. As for Mother Yashoda, she sat by the side of her husband and heard the pastimes of Krishna without speaking. She was simply crying incessantly, and milk was pouring from her breasts. When Uddhava saw Maharaja Nanda and Yashoda so extraordinarily overwhelmed with thoughts of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and when he experienced their extraordinary affection for him, he also became overwhelmed and began to speak as follows. My dear mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaja, you are most respectable among human beings because no one but you can meditate in such transcendental ecstasy. Both Balarama and Krishna are the original personalities of Godhead, from whom the cosmic manifestation is emanating. They are chief among all personalities. Both of them are the effective cause of this material creation. Material nature is conducted by the Purusha incarnations, who are all acting under Krishna and Balarama. By their partial representation, they enter in the hearts of all living entities. They are the source of all knowledge and all forgetfulness also. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter. I am present in everyone's heart, and I cause one to remember and to forget. I am the original compiler of the Vedanta, and I am the actual knower of the Vedas. If at the time of death a person can fix his pure mind upon Krishna, even for a moment, he becomes eligible to give up this material body and appear in his original spiritual body, just as the sun rises with all illumination. Passing from his life in this way, he immediately enters into the spiritual kingdom Vaikuntha. This is the result of Krishna conscious practice. If we practice Krishna consciousness in this present body, while
Okay,
we
chalo,
are in
Yuresh,
a
just let us see anything he studied, because otherwise we may lose track of the thoughts. He said he may be a demigod, maybe a demigod. You see that? That's they never accept Krishna as God. Maybe a demigod. That also, Prabhupada said, that is also not settled, maybe. And then was his intense meditation we saw of Nanda Maharaj, which was overwhelming for all of us. He said he possessed 10,000 elephants, my God. Kamsa, he was very powerful, and Krishna just killed him. And that big elephant, and how wonderful it is that, big bow he took in his hand, made of three palm trees. Okay. What is a palm tree? Palm trees were coconut
Palm
tree or what?
trees. Another,
Palm.
I like this one, coconut tree. Palm fruit is there, Prabhu.
No, they look like coconut,
That,
not coconut.
it is palm
But
fruit.
they look like
That
okay.
Denukas for that.
Okay, then Denukas are also palm trees. Arkanut is different, huh?
Arikanut means that this thing beetle.
Beetle.
Supari.
That is different.
Yes, supari.
Okay. So anyway, big trees are so heavy, one tree how can it lift? And he's saying, okay, how wonderful. Therefore, there is one chapter in Krishna book called Wonderful Krishna. Correct? Krishna is so wonderful. He lifted a mountain, he killed Pralamasura, Dhenukasura. But describing then Nanda Maharaj could not speak anymore. We can just we can just peep into the love for Krishna. Correct? And here, we can only describe sense gratification. Yeah, a mother Yashoda, her intensity is even more. She is even more fortunate. She's simply crying. Therefore, there was one personality, one great sage. He said, I just want to be born in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. That's all. I don't want anything. Shisha, you remember who said that? I just want to be in a courtyard, want to be born in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And there's a shloka for that. He said, as far as I'm concerned, I just want to be born there. So fortunate is he. Krishna Balaram are playing in his courtyard. Shisha, you are muted. Okay. When Uddhava saw Maharaj Nanda and Yashoda so extraordinarily overwhelmed, then he said, my God, you're so fortunate. Okay. My dear Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, you have most respectable personality. And their original personalities of Godhead, he is giving it authoritative statements, the chief among all personalities. They are the cause of creation. And this whole Purusha incarnation, all they are coming under Krishna Balaram. Okay? They are entering into the heart of everybody as Paramatma, the source of all knowledge, forgetfulness. This is given in Bhagavad Gita. Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Forget, I am the original compiler of the Vedas. Vedej Sarva Aham Eva Vedya. And I am the actual Vedanta Vid, Ved Videva Chaham. At the time of death, person can fix his mind upon Krishna. Even for a moment, he becomes eligible to give up this material body and appear in the original spiritual body. Just as the sun rises, all the illumination. Passing from this life, enters the Vaikuntha. This is a result of Krishna conscious practice. Yes. Who would like to? Preeti, you like to read for some time? Yeah, you're
Yes,
muted. Chalo.
yes, Prabhu, can do. If we practice Krishna consciousness,
In this
Prabhu,
body.
in this present body, while we are in a healthy condition and in good mind, simply by chanting the holy Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, we will have every possibility of fixing our mind upon Krishna at the time of death. If that is done, then our life becomes successful without any doubt. Similarly, if we keep our mind always absorbed in fruitive activities for material enjoyment, then naturally at the time of death we shall think of such activities and again be forced to enter into a material conditioned body to suffer the threefold miseries of material existence. Therefore, to remain always absorbed in Krishna consciousness was the standard of the inhabitants of Vrindavan as exhibited by Maharaj Nanda, Yashoda, and the gopis. If we can simply follow their footsteps, even to a minute proportion, our lives will surely become successful and we will enter into the spiritual kingdom, Vaikuntha.
Yeah, Preeti, just explain what you read.
So, Prabhupada said that many times the Krishna consciousness is a scientific movement. It is not concoction of the mind. It is a scientific movement and it involves training the mind. This is Prabhupada is writing if we we will have if we chant the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, we have every possibility of fixing our mind upon Krishna at the time of death. It is not that it is going to happen when I'm old or when I'm dying, I'll think of Krishna. No, because death is explained in Krishna in Bhagavatam, and I remember reading in Ajamila's sixth canto that how the mind becomes disturbed and the mucus gets filled up uh, in the windpipe, and we can't speak, we can't breathe. What to talk about speaking? If we can't breathe, we can't speak. That I know. So, so if we are not breathing, there's no question of speaking, and the whole concentration is focused on that suffering, and in that suffering state, we leave the body. But here is the benediction that if you train your mind now, when we are healthy, when we are breathing, when we are eating, when we are doing everything in a healthy manner, then maybe at the time of death we'll be able to fix our mind without any doubt, uh, and we'll be out of this material conditioned body to suffer where we suffer threefold miseries. Therefore, to remain always absorbed in Krishna consciousness was the standard of inhabitants of Vrindavan. They're setting an example. That is their standard of life. And Prabhupada wants us to follow their footsteps even to a minute proportion so that we can go back to Vaikuntha, or spiritual kingdom.
Wow, thanks, Preeti. You looked at something very, very nice. Okay, if you can, Preeti, just quote the put up in the Radha Govinda group, okay? To always remain absorbed in Krishna consciousness was the standard of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This is like they put a bar now, and you cannot follow that in minute proportion. 1%, life will become successful. You'll enter into spiritual world. Yeah, beautiful.
Actually, with the devotees, if we can visit our goals, sorry, Prabhu, can I say? Prabhu?
Yeah, yeah.
So I have learned with devotees, especially in Gita Nagari, like whenever there is a problem in life, it gives an opportunity to go back and revisit your spiritual goal and material goal. How is this problem affecting my material goal and my spiritual goal? Like material goal, okay, how to keep my body healthy, how to keep my children okay, how to run the house, but spiritual goal is more important. So go back and check and recheck and recheck. So it becomes a cycle. Um, and the problem is taken care of in that way rather than becoming succumb to the problem.
Correct.
That is my.
We always remind ourselves what we are wanting to do or what we have taken up Krishna consciousness, we forget sometimes. Sometimes
Yeah.
something very obvious and simple we forget. We have taken Krishna consciousness to please Krishna. Gurur Hitam. I was recently taking class for all the brahmacharis. I said, our life is for Gurur Hitam, just for the satisfaction of Prabhupada. We have nothing else to do. Okay? You are fortunate, you have given your life, you have practically have no material anxiety, and neither any material duties now. But don't forget that Gurur Hitam is just here for satisfaction of Prabhupada. So sometimes that, something very obvious goes away. So it's good to remind our basics, go back to the basics, and again bring back the energy. The natural time. Shisha, you wanted to say something? Nupur? Yeah, Preeti, continue.
My dear mother Yashoda and Nand Maharaj, Uddhava continued, you have thus fixed your minds wholly and solely upon that Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan in his transcendental form, the cause of impersonal Brahman. The Brahman effulgence is only the bodily ray of Narayana. And because you are always absorbed in aesthetic thought of Krishna and Balram, what activity remains to be performed by you? I have brought a message from Krishna to the effect that he will soon come back to Vrindavan and satisfy you both by his personal presence. Krishna promised that he would come back to Vrindavan after finishing his business in Mathura. This promise he will surely fulfill. I therefore request you both, who are the best among all fortunates, to be not aggrieved on account of Krishna's absence. You are already perceiving his presence 24 hours a day, and yet he will come and see you very soon. Actually, he is present everywhere and in everyone's heart, just as fire is present in the wood. Since Krishna is the super soul, no one is his enemy, no one is his friend, and no one is equal to him, and no one is lower or higher than him. Actually, he is no father, mother, brother, or relative, nor does he require society, friendship, and love. He does not have a material body. He never appears or takes birth as an ordinary human being. He does not appear in higher or lower species of life like ordinary living entities who are forced to take birth on account of their previous activities. He appears by his internal potency just to give protection to his devotees. He is never influenced by the modes of material nature. But when he appears within this material world, it seems that he acts like an ordinary living entity under the spell of the modes of the material nature. In fact, he is the overseer of this material creation and is not affected by the material modes of nature. He creates, maintains, and dissolves the whole cosmic manifestation. We wrongly think of Krishna and Balram as ordinary human beings. We are like dizzy men who see the whole world wheeling around them. The personality of Godhead is no one's son. He is actually everyone's father, mother, and supreme controller. There is no doubt of this. Whatever is being experienced, whatever is already in existence, whatever is not in existence, whatever will be in existence in the future, whatever is the smallest and whatever is the biggest, have no separate existence outside the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything is resting in Him, but He is out of touch with everything manifested.
Yes.
I I think Nand Maharaj and Yashoda mother are not going to like this.
They know
Because
no, they're hearing it, but they have heard so many times all this. It's like Mother
but
Yashoda. Oh, he's a devata. That's okay in one sense. Another sense that actually, in the deeper sense, they do know Krishna is the supreme personality of God. They are pure devotees of Krishna. They do know. But the Yogamaya, even though they keep hearing from great devotees, the Yogamaya predominates in their heart because there are so many instances actually, just like the gopis. Gopis also, in one sense, say they don't know, but actually in the Gopi Gita, they say he's the supreme personality of Godhead. So they are aware of that. It's a Yogamaya which gives that kind of a mix wherein they know, they don't know, and it's very difficult for us to understand their position. So anyway, he's giving his fatwa, his whole philosophy, already perceiving the presence 24 hours a day. Very interesting. Okay, so the Preeti started from a Yashoda, Uddhava, you have thus fixed your mind wholly and solely upon Narayana, the cause of impersonal Brahman. Impersonal Brahman is just a way of his body. I brought a message from Krishna. Soon come back. He'll soon come back. Okay? He will come back, Vrindavan, he will actually fulfill to be more agreed on account of Krishna's absence. Okay, you're already, so anyway, he's giving assurance from Krishna. He's just repeating what Krishna told him to tell. I'm coming back, tell them. So he has told. So devotees are very honestly messengers of Krishna. He knows he's not going to go probably, but he tells. Perceive the presence 24 hours a day. He'll come and see you very soon. He's present where in everyone's heart, as fire is present in the wood. This, for us, this tattva is also important because we really don't have at this time love for Krishna. So even philosophy is very much needed for us. Krishna is a super soul. No one is his enemy. No one is his friend. No one is equal to him. No one is higher, lower. Does not have a material body. Never appears to take birth like ordinary human being. Okay? A higher, lower species. He doesn't do that. It's showing how Krishna is transcendent in all the ways. He appears with the internal potency to protect the devotee, never influence modes of material nature. It seems he acts like ordinary living entity. He is the overseer of the material creation. He is not affected by the material modes of nature. He creates, maintains, dissolves the whole cosmic manifestation. As ordinary, we are like a dizzy man. Very interesting. We see the whole world wheeling around us. We are not able to see the fact. The personality of God is no one's son, is actually no one's father, mother. There's no doubt on this. Whatever is being experienced, whatever is already in experience, whatever is not in existence, whatever is in existence, the smallest, have no separate existence outside Supreme Personality of God. Everything is resting in Him, but He's out of touch with everything manifested. Okay? This is what we heard, Preeti, or you went more than this? No.
Yes, Prabhu, till there.
Okay, he's out of touch with everything manifested. Yeah, even though Maya tatam idam sarvam shisha.
Yeah, Maya tatam idam sarvam.
Then after that, Mastani. Yes, that's what it says. Even though everything is in Krishna, Krishna is not present there. He's there in the spiritual world. Okay. It's very nice. It's going very nicely now. Who is going to read? Nupur Mataji, you can come back to you. You can finish this chapter. Hare Krishna, Nupur Mataji, you are there? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know. Hare Krishna. Who will read? Murti Mataji, you want to read for some time? Are you able to read in your house?
Yes, I can read.
Yes.
From where, Prabhu?
Nanda.
Nanda and Uddhava thus passed the whole night in discussing Krishna. In the morning, the gopis prepared for the morning aratika by lightening their lamps and sprinkling butter mixed with yogurt. After finishing their Mangala aratika, they engaged themselves in churning butter from yogurt. While the gopis were thus engaged, the lamps reflected on their ornaments became still more illuminated. The churning rods, their arms, their earrings, their bangles, their breasts, everything moved. And the kunkuma powder gave their face a saffron luster comparable to the rising sun. While churning, they also sang the glories of Krishna. The two sound vibration mixed together ascended to the sky and sanctified the whole atmosphere. After sunrise, the gopis came as usual to offer their respects to Nanda Maharaja and Yashoda. But when they saw the golden chariot of Uddhava at the door, they began to inquire among themselves, what was that chariot and to whom did it belong? Some of them inquired whether Akrura, who had taken away Krishna, had again returned. They were not very pleased with Akrura because they, being engaged in the service of Krishna, he took away Krishna from the city of Mathura. All the gopis conjectured that Akrura might have come again to fulfill another cruel plan. But they thought, we are not dead bodies without our supreme master, Krishna. What further acts can he perpetrate on these dead bodies? While they were talking in this way, Uddhava finished this morning ablutions, prayers, and chanting and came before them. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 45th chapter of Krishna. Uddhava visits Vrindavan.
I think the same thing, just like the gopis are feeling what worse can happen, sometimes we also feel what more worse can happen to us.
Yes.
We feel actually genuinely what more worse is possible than the condition we are in. Okay, spiritual, total forgetfulness. But they are feeling in transcendental ecstasy that, what more worse. That Akrura, they said, no, his name is wrong. He's a Krura. He took away Krishna. He's not Akrura. He's Krura. He is the wrong name. So anyway, this so beautiful scene of Vrindavan. Okay? Morning Artika, they light the lamps. They are engaged. It's like today they run on the treadmill. Prabhupada said they don't run so foolish like that. You use the washing machine to wash clothes, and then you have mixies to, grind your stuff. But here they do with hand. That gives you health also, isn't it? You get health in that way. The lamp reflected on their ornaments became more illuminated. You see how natural beauty of that place, Anna? Turning rod, their arms, earrings, and bangles. And because of staying simple, they save time now. And because the time is saved, they're not worried whether children will get a job, whether they will pass an examination. They're not worried. They're peaceful. They know the children will take care of cows. Where is the anxiety? Anna?
Yes.
And they're enjoying all the vibration, and they're talking about, they're singing the glories of Krishna. They have made in Braja, their language, so many glories of Krishna. They're singing those and they're enjoying relation. Okay, so the gopis every day used to come to give their respect to Nanda Maharaj Yashoda, anywhere to Nanda Maharaj. Maharaj means he is the sort of king among them. They give their respects and they meet, and they are the parents of their dearest Krishna. They come to inquire, give them some relief. And they say, a chariot here. Who has come Akrura again? Or what he will do? Another some plan he has. Must have come fulfill another cruel plan. They thought, what he can do now? Now we are already dead. He has killed us already. What further can he perpetrate? Sometimes we feel what more down we can go. So anyway, for us it is different. Gopis is different. He said, already he has killed us. So what he can do? Uddhava finished the morning oblation, prayers and chanting, and came before them. Thus ends the purport, 45th chapter of Krishna Uddhava. I thought we'll go to 2 chapters today, but we did one because Preeti is there with us.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Yes.
Nice to hear after so many days about Preeti.
Oh no, I should join more. The thing is, if I have a Sunday off, I run to Gita Nagri. I'm bad.
No problem, no problem. Now we are having practically Preeti every day going on. So whenever you see a link, you can press. Okay. I wish that Sunday is going very nice, a 3-hour session, marathon session, but it's opposite end for you. That's night out for you. Okay. Anything comment on today's chapter? Anybody? Shisha, tell me what is the best thing you learned today? What was most touching among the whole thing? So much. We have to read the chapter again to see, without Krishna Balaram. Yeah. Bhava expansion. Yeah, this was for me the most sweetest thing. Prabhupada said, if you read Krishna work, you will get solace and your feeling of separation will be solaced. Prabhupada doesn't know my heart. We are not at all feeling separation. We too practice Krishna consciousness. Bhavaushadhi. It's just a medicine for our heart. Okay. And then pacify the deep feeling of separation. Okay. Anything, Shisha, today? Transcendently agree. You see, so many wonderful words are there. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no worship as exalted as realized by the gopis, the highest worship. Today we are discussing the Bhagavatam contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One of the contribution is the highest worship. Okay, as if suffering from ailments, Krishna said, please go. They're keeping alive, thinking that I'll return very soon. And that's what he assured them, therefore, I think. It's coming back. You see, Representative Vasudeva, they inquired, how is Vasudeva, how is Krishna Balaram? Is there any possibility he's coming back? If he tells he's not coming back, they would have died. It's a possibility. They're just alive that they're going to see Krishna very soon. Okay? And they're meditating, beautiful face, beautiful eyes of Krishna, beautiful smile of Krishna. Okay? Impression of Krishna's footprint are still there. Maybe some Devata. Okay? And he killed Kamsa, so powerful. And they're meditating on Krishna's wonderful activities. How wonderful it is, how wonderful it is. Okay? And then Nanda Maharaj, this was a very, very sweet area. Just we got a peep into how much they love Krishna. Correct? All this thing. Okay? When he saw the position of Nanda Maharaj became overwhelmed, could not speak anymore. And Mother Yashoda was just crying and crying. It's not material crying. This is transcendental love. It's intense transcendental love. Okay? Milk pouring from our breast. So actually we should, whenever we get time, read. Prabhupada says it's my sweetest book, Krishna book. He made it like that. You see, no shlokas, nothing is kept. Just read, and you get an opportunity. Extraordinary affection, he also became overwhelmed, and then he started glorifying them. We are so fortunate. We are so fortunate. You are most respectable among human beings. See, he's saying that. And he's telling them Krishna Balaram is personality of Godhead, and Purusha Avataras is also part of them. And Mata Smriti Jnana Apohanam Cha, I'm in everyone's heart. Okay. And if you have meditation like this, will be very useful. And this was a beautiful verse line. Preeti's pick. We used to say, this is my line. I remember when we just to remain always in Krishna conscious, standard or inhabitants of Vrindavan. That's their standard, as exhibit Nanda Maharaj Yashoda. If he can simply follow the footsteps, even to a minute proportion, life will surely become successful. So read it again and again. Okay. You'll feel, one minute, some portion you may get. Okay, Nanda Maharaj, Narayana, Supreme Personality Godhead Narayana. And if you develop such love for Krishna Balaram, what activity remains to be done? Tapasa tataskim, aradito yadi hari, tapasa tataskim. Like this, you have to do, naradito yadi hari, tapasa tataskim. If you do not get love for Krishna, what is the use of your tapasya? And if you got love for Krishna like this, why you have to do tapasya anyway? You already perceiving Krishna 24 hours a day. He come very soon. He's coming very soon. We wrongly think he's telling all this thing, but the Yogamaya will not allow them to digest. Anyway, the whole night they heard about Krishna, and in the morning, even though night out was there, the gopis continued with their work. Mother Yashoda and definitely some gopis will be there around. They're done. But the general, all others came in the morning. And they think, who has come, this person? Maybe a crew has come again. Fellow so cruel, because they saw one chariot. Maybe same fellow has come again, and he wants to do some another cruel plan here, another cruel plan. And now what he will do? We are already dead. Okay?
Dead.
Okay. By the time Uddhava comes. Yes, Shisha, what are the sweetest thing now today you have heard? Some memory from today, some message.
Yeah.
You tell something, some memory from today. Something, instruction for everybody.
Actually, why Krishna sent Uddhava is because actually Uddhava's complexion is like Krishna only actually. That's why they can have that this one.
Memory of Krishna.
Memory of Krishna, actually, yes.
ठीक है, ठीक है. Okay, ठीक है. Yes, Nupur Mataji, anything from today's class? Today's reading? Hare Krishna, Nupur.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, anything from today's memory
Hare,
class?
Hare
Any?
Krishna, can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, very clear.
Oh, because my network is a little slow
No, it's okay.
today. It's being disconnected. Okay. Um, just just the whole chapter, Prabhuji, actually.
Okay. What touches in the
Yeah.
chapter? Maximum.
Can you go back a little bit so I can show it
Okay, yes.
in the chapter?
Actually, Uddhava has learned from Brahaspati that material this one, Vidya and Avidya, that he has come to know about the Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
Actually, that is Vidya, actually. Vidya is Avidya, and Vedo Vemsa.
Uh-huh.
Vidya Amritam Tirtha, Avidya Mrityum Tirtha, Vidya Amritam Asmriti. That Ishopanasya sloka, that actually as such. Yeah.
Yes.
That Uddhava is actually having the second stage of this one. Knowledge now. That's why Krishna has sent Uddhava also in that this one. Is that Uddhava is experiencing that one now. He learned from that Brahaspati, that one, Avidya, this one, material, this one. Okay. Now he is experiencing the Vidya portion of it. Yeah, knowledge of this one.
Okay. Now his education is becoming complete. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, Dupar Mataji, if you want to add something, which you forgot
Yes,
to
Prabhuji.
focus.
Prabhuji, it was that portion where it says that even if you take up a minute feelings like what the inhabitants of Vrindavana had,
Yeah, this was the most
then
beautiful. Yeah.
gradually we can all go back.
Okay. Good. You can even read this. How do you get that? You read. No? Pala, you read. Whenever you meditate on Narasimhadev mercy to Prahlad, you also get protection. You get the same mercy. The same way you meditate on the mercy of Krishna to the gopis, Gopas, Nandamaharaj, when you read that, you also get some portion of that mercy. Yeah, very nice. Preeti, something from today?
Prabhu, I like that Krishna was thinking of policing the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Krishna was affected and was very, very aware of how they must be feeling and was planning out the ways to pacify them.
Yeah.
I think I'm very, very encouraged by it. That it's a relationship with the with Krishna, and it's not just I am offering prayers and they're not hurt. No, I don't know they're hurt or not, but Krishna is hearing them.
Yeah. You wanted this message to pacify their deep feelings. Krishna is very alert. Prabhupada said it looks like Krishna is neglected. Prabhupada says that word. But actually he's very, very alert. Very alert.
He appeared very anxious to pacify them.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Kaunteya
really like
pratijani
it.
hi. What is the shloka? Kaunteya pratijani hi name bhakta. Krishna has proved here also, no? Isn't it? My devotee, they're perishing, they're almost dying out of pain of separation externally. So Krishna is sending, oh, go, pacify them. Yes.
Because sometimes
And even
life is a question.
Yeah,
There is a
Nupur Mataji.
question that. Oh, sorry.
You wanted to say
no, I
something?
just wanted to say that Krishna sends Uddhava for his benefit. Actually, of course, he wanted to send a message, but also for his benefit to show him that
Yeah.
devotion is
What is
much
devotion?
more
What is
superior.
devotion? Go and see what is devotion.
Devotion is, yes, much more superior than all the knowledge combined.
Concept, Krishna consciousness.
That's why.
But actually, this is a message I actually want to preach to the younger generation. But sometimes the younger generation is very confused. I see that a lot. That whom are they actually important for? Are they important for their parents so that they can get education and they can get a job and they can earn money? Are they important to the society? Whom are they important? They cannot answer this question. That's why they become hippies. They take to drugs. They take to so many addictions because they don't know that whom are they actually important to. And Krishna is saying you're important to me, your mind. So this is actually very encouraging to me personally.
Very nice, very nice, very nice, Kirti. Murthy Mataji, you like to add anything?
No,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
see, I don't know what to add because all these people have said devotees, everything is good, and the whole chapter is so beautiful to read.
Yes, yes,
That's it, Prabhu.
yes, great.
Yeah.
Whole chapter is Ashish mother.
Yeah, Prabhuji, actually, I felt very happy today to be a woman or lady because here they have described, I mean, Prabhupada has described the love of a lady like in terms of Yasoda mother or in terms of gopis, which males may not have. And it may be very difficult or rare to have. So that's why I feel happy today that he has, I mean, somehow glorified the ladies or the women's love for Krishna.
Yes, yes. Prabhupada says, and they're very simple by nature and they easily accept authority in the prayers of Queen Kunti. So, uh, yes, they were the most exalted devotees, the ladies. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Yuresh, you like to add anything today? Today's meditation? Which thing was you feel we should remember or you want to remember?
Well, most
Nothing
of them
Sutadam
have been
Nishtha.
covered by Nupur Mataji and Preeti Mataji
Don't
already.
remember.
And I would like to stress on that point that
Forget
Krishna
Krishna.
responds proportionately to the advancement of the devotees. So the more we feel Krishna is closer to us, the more Krishna responds, and I like that part actually. And also,
Yeah.
we need to be in the footsteps of Nanda Maharaja and Yashoda Mata, and we have to be, even if we do 1% of what they have done, we'll be in the Vaikuntha. So I
Yeah,
like that part
Nupur,
as well.
can you do this, Nupur Mataji? Some important things you can put it on Radha Govinda. Okay? So people can also read. Okay? Krishna book. I don't know whether you have the Krishna book with you online. You don't have.
I Prabhuji, you're
He,
asking me for the book.
yeah, yeah. You don't have online, no? This book?
Yes, Prabhu, this
I
vedabase.com.
cannot.
No, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
should.
I know Vedabase. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You can take out some important lines and put up so that people will be enjoying. Okay?
For
Okay.
the next chapter.
No, no, no. Just for in the Radha Govinda group for everybody to.
Oh, oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. This was the most beautiful line. Most beautiful today. Okay. Standard of. Okay. Yes, Shisha, we close now. It's 10:30. It's at 42. It's already crossed. Okay.
Thank
Everybody
you.
is welcome. Please
Yeah.
join us
The
next
Prabhu
week.
Hare Krishna, please send me the shloka
Hare
guide.
Krishna.
Yes. And then we have started one more now, Sunday, 10 o'clock. Anybody has time can also join us. Every Sunday, 10 to 1, Bhagavatam study. Okay, but it's not comfortable in America at that time. That's mid of night for you. Those who are in India, you can join us. Okay.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna, everybody.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
everybody.
Krishna, devotees.
Hare